Another current affairs situation to talk about is Donald Trump. What do you think about Donald Trump being the new president of the world? Even though it's a bit of an exaggeration still, but yeah.
He's practically the president of the
Well,
world when he
yeah.
believes he is.
Well, I was being
I,
sarcastic. I should have said the United States, but yeah, we'll go with the world.
I don't know. I watch a lot on the kind of internet, and I mean, it's the Trump supporters. They're more disappointed with Trump than anybody else, and they're the ones who voted him in. So it's what Trump's professing to do now. I like the fact that he released his 1,800 man from prison because they're his soldiers. I like the fact that he done that. But I don't know with Trump. I think Trump is, out of all the world leaders in the world, if anyone's going to press that button,
Oh God, don't say it. I've heard that so many times.
yeah, he seemed like someone who's bold enough and brazen enough to do that.
But I think because he loves his money and things so much, I don't think he would actually. I think he wants people to think that he would just press that button recklessly, but smartly, because he's so into his money. Like, remember, he's not a billionaire; he's a trillionaire. They love money.
America's done it already.
Yeah, but they were still making money, and I just don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really a political person or religious. Yeah. Because I think religion is a huge weapon in war.
Yeah,
so I don't really try to get involved in too much of that. But from what I see, I just feel that guy Trump he's crazy, but he ain't stupid. He's a risk taker, but he's not risking his own neck. Like, you understand? Like, he's very calculated. So I think with him, he's like a race driver that you're supposed to go fast, isn't it? But he's just going slow, and he's still getting all the laps in and everything. But
America's economy is in problems, though.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, but it's in problems. I mean, America, China, and Russia, India, and the BRICS, they're dominating financially. So they're making the dollar weak. They're crashing the dollar right now. If it keeps going the way it's going, the dollar might crash.
Wow.
And I don't think Trump, for a man who loves money, I don't think he's just going to accept it like that.
I don't think he will accept it. But that's why I say I think he's more business than he is for the people. So whoever's around him, business-wise, they're all right. So they know what they're looking to invest in and cut out, and they've had this plan already.
Do you think England needs someone in power that didn't come up through the status quo like all the rest of them? Trump never come up like all the rest of them politicians.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, I don't know anybody from England, like political wise, that will move like that. I think the closest person,
like Trump wasn't a politician; he's a businessman who went on the journey and became president of America. I mean, do you think there's anyone do you think England would take on that same kind of?
Nah, I think if England's too
a normal person to be leader.
Nah, England's too
traditional.
Yeah, and that's what it is. They're not breaking their tradition for nothing and no one. They're not doing it. Like America will take little risk, and even not being funny, even Obama was a risk, but it was a planned risk. They knew that would just open up people's eyes, like black president, so on and so on and so on. But they wanted this one man to fix how many problems that he didn't create. But they still didn't give him a salute, like to say, yeah, all those other problems that you sorted out, the only one they really remember is Osama bin Laden. But that wasn't really his fight and argument. It's just something that he had to sort out that was already in the motion. So as far as they're concerned, we started it, it's going nowhere, let's leave it.
So what do you think of England? As soon as Conservatives lost the election, they elected that black female as the leader of the Conservative Party.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think they're trying to do something different.
As I said, I try not to get into the politics thing in it, but it's the same thing they've done in America. And I can't remember the woman's name, Lisa something.
Condoleezza Rice.
That's it. Yeah. So, as I said, you're imitating what's happening because you feel if you put somebody black there, you're gonna get those, the other,
vote.
yeah, the votes, the followers, and so on and so on. But England don't really work like that. It doesn't work like that. So as I said, we're not gonna see a black prime minister over here.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that. That's never gonna happen. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, we could. But who will be elected for that?
All right. Coming back to Trump. Then, do you think Trump was a good election, good president? Do you think he come at the right time?
I think he was entertaining.
Some people see him as a savior.
I just see him as entertaining. I don't see him as a president. I see him as entertainment.
But he's got presidential power.
Of course, but he's entertaining with it. So it's not like you're watching. I don't feel like I'm watching the president. I feel like I'm just watching Trump because he just moves like Trump. He doesn't move like a president.
So is that not dangerous, you know?
Of course, it's more than dangerous. But then again, it might be normal. Because as I said to you, I couldn't tell you what the criteria of a president is. I don't know. I don't know what the criteria of a prime minister because I don't really follow the politics like that. But you hear one and two little stories and little things that might pop up on the news, and you think, oh, that was a little, that sounds interesting or whatever. But me personally, Trump is good entertainment. So as I said, even if you watch shows like watch The Simpsons, they will break down the man's character in the whole show of The Simpsons. So basically, if you know The Simpsons, Trump is just like Mr. Burns, basically. Do you know what I mean? Trump is basically Scrooge McDuck. Do you know what I mean, though? Yeah?
I think the good thing about him, though, is that when he came into power, even Putin reached out to him. I think that he's out of all the people, he's got the power to probably sit down with those individuals and change the kind of the fate of these wars if he wanted to. I think he's got that influence and that power to do so.
And he's got the business sense.
And whether or not he's gonna do that, because